Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manichean series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel. And we've recently expanded southwest towards the land of Sogdia and into Bauk and even into Bamian. Jealous of you that you also hold this mine. Station siege web effectiveness compared to this other one. You gotta be me. That one's got more tax than the other with the lapis lazuli mine. But at least it gives out a holding tax, along with other structures that's already built before. But the control's awfully low as this is newly conquered territory. And there'll be no more wars to fight as we want the offensive war opinion to go down. And also I've been contemplating about the future of this empire, this Khanate. About the possibility of adopting the centralized administration with the administrative government. But there's one problem. Look at the cost it increased. And all the powerhouses must have a affinity of 50 or more. And another thing. This primitive modified log it wouldn't mean much, especially with this character of older age. I believe that honor should go to my son, who is the heir to every title that he's gonna get. Maybe he should be the one to adopt administrative government. Because the realm keeps on expanding and it's gonna be hard for me to watch over everybody. And hopefully doesn't end up doing the same cutthroat politics as was Byzantium doing over there. So, who knows? But anyways, we want to get the control up fast for Badakhshan. So perhaps that the best way to do it is not only come on, wake up. I had 4 hours of sleep, so my mind may not be at 100%, but at least now I know what I'm doing. You gotta go for inspection. Want you to do it over in Badakhshan. So travel will be a little long, so take those Silk Road merchants with you and those mountaineers. And have a significant funding. So a higher chance of success, and it has to be an overseer tent because I want to improve that success chance. We got to get this under control. So, ready? This could be one of my last acts as the Khatun, and all that. Oh, come on. It's time to take matters in my own hands. I'll personally oversee the workings of Badakhshan. I shall count every sheep, every fortification, every sword, and every sack of grain. My realm will be most managed there is. Let us ride. Can't wait. Nothing happens so far. Pamiri men. I've seen the world, beheld many wonders in my trials, but never beheld such beauties as the ones I've seen in Iskamish. Truly, Pamiri men are cut above all the rest. One particularly fascinating specimen has taken my eyes, like a peasant man by the name of Aram. A pretty little morsel. He is far too pleased for my to spend his days stowed away in Iskamish. Alright, look at him. He's got a prominent mustache. And he's beautiful too. Lustful. But, well, skill-wise, he would make a pretty good administrator. Why not? At this point in my life, my new paramour. Join my court. One foot after another, I slowly move forward on the narrow mountain trail. Suddenly I hear a rumble and quickly silent scream. Shocked by the commotion, I whip around instead of Mutu walking behind me. There's an equally befuddled, tired face of Boniac standing in front of fresh turn rocks. Where is Mutlu? I demand to know, my voice barely escaping my drawn mouth. The only response is a faint whistling in the wind. That's my best decision ever. Oh! Mutlu, Mutlu, we will save you. Mutlu is not found. Boniac's gone too. So does she, and I'm wounded. There are no good decisions here. Like old caravan master Mutlu shed her mortal coil when she fell from the mountain trail. It behooves me to choose someone else to lead my entourage. In fact, there are two who could easily fill her shoes. Either my lover or my Vagator, and the who is the Silk Road merchant. Both serve me well in a pinch. You'll do just fine, because he's well traveled. This beautiful Greek woman will be hopefully treat my wounds. %6 chance I'll die, 5% chance of becoming scarred, 88% chance that I will recover. And did. Okay. At least we've got an excellent decision again. No stone unturned. Development growth increased, and as well as control growth up faster. As I arrive at that action, I'm brought to the study. A group of servants tend to all my needs and fuss around me for a while until I ask them to leave. How am I to focus on my task at hand if they keep running around the room? With them out of the way, I can finally start working on my plans, which is to obviously improve the bureaucracy around here. Hostile nobles, success chance decreased. Left to say walls they decreased again. As we survey the more obscure regions of action, Kubasar and I find a small area referred to as the Mountains of Rustak. Besides some few goat herders, there does not seem to be everyone living around here. Whenever we pass them, they look at us with suspicion in their eyes. If I want to ensure my control of that action, I need to get a better grasp of the populace, even in these remote lands. Invested with some roads here so I could send people out here. Big jump. After thoroughly scrutinizing all the documents I could find, I managed to wrestle out some extra budget that I can reallocate to alleviate some of the local infrastructure issues troubling the county. I only need to figure out which section of the bureaucracy is most in need for some of the extra aid. You know what I'm choosing. This for improved control. Don't care about development. Control's all that matters. 31% chance success improved. 65% chance slight increase. Adjusted 3% decrease. And we got the successfully reallocation here for increase slightly. I find myself yet again in conversation with some of the locals about how should I prioritize the restructuring of Badakhshan. Move and rebuild the old town walls, my liege. Captain Yavalak of the local garrison says it'll make. Think of how much more space we would have for a new residential district. No, the old merchant district's in dire need of a touch of Meherban, a representative of the local guilds, cuts to the conversation shamelessly. Imagine how much more lively the town would be with an active merchant district. Well, the merchants have the right of it for development. Looked impossible at first, but someone managed to find a way to start putting things right in Badakhshan. Ending some of the local corruption and bandits was only a first step in the right direction. It's crucial for the county's future. Now we just need to ensure to stay on the right path for the foreseeable future. As planned. Taxes up, control up faster, and more. Oh yeah, big jump on the control. And we'll have full control in 7 months. And it's active. Why not throw it in there? Alright, let's haggle. 87. High altitude and brisk air of Volcan is very refreshing qualities to traverse the local hill fort. Soldiers in the valley below appear to be practicing some rare type of trading technique I haven't seen before. I'm moving closer, feeling to restrain my curiosity. While doing so, I approach my local captain, Verdi. Would you like to join in, my lady? It's a familiar name. I'm always up for a challenge. I'll be reckless as well. I walk on the same never-ending narrow mountain trail. I feel the veil of fatigue clouding my mind. I hear deceiving whispers and half-forgotten memories and me whistling but there's something very real about the piercing scream of Zangrama, which chills much of my spine. Solitaire, once again I see human-sized capital watcher. Did we just lose another person? The other slowly. Raga does not need to speak his face falls as it need to answer. Oh no, not again. That's my patriarch who is seems alright. Though well traveled. Dear Father of the Greatness, dear the Father of Greatness, deliver us from peril. There goes the realm priest. Okay. As you traverse the arid plains of Zakhan, the serene oasis comes into view, circled by a fleet of camels. The wise elder, climbing by the water, took notice of our approach, gestures inviting. Weary travelers, he begins, voice soft as the evening breeze. The spirit of the desert can be harsh. Rest by waters and let the camels' quiet strength restore you. You seem wise, why don't you join us? Come on in. Slope. Wild animals came to our camp last night while we were at Chokoka. No one was hurt, but it ransacked some of our food supplies. We'll buy it from the locals. As I'm traveling, I come upon two women arguing at the side of the road. One of them, a pretty young woman, appears to be beaten nearly half to death by a second older woman. After stopping for a moment as I listened, and I quickly surmised that the older woman is accusing the young maiden of having had some low relations with her husband. The young maiden is vehemently denying these claims. While I'm not immediately connected to this affair as a lady, it would be an easy thing to intervene in one way or the other. Turn the old hag back and have the young maiden attended to. I think the Father of Greatness can go inside again. And I'll take this man. "36 years. Oh, come on, we can do better. I mean, you're not a powerful vassal, but the Archegos as my chaplain. See, he even called, instead of Patriarch, it's Archegos, because it's the one. Yes. That's all, I gave you a bunch of land. Oh, look at you. You know what, simply for the sake of it, before I pass, I should hold the Bema festival. Let's do it. Month-long fast with generous alms. And should be for spiritual guidance. Anybody that's in this court can join. Yeah, we're doing that for the sake of it. The Bema Festival is soon upon us, the most important celebration in Manichaeism. It is the time of the year when we remember the martyrdom of Mani. the Apostle Jesus, who will come to us in spiritual form to absolve us of the sins we confess as we liberate the light from this dark material world. Before the Bema Festival, however, hearers such as myself must engage in fasting as preparation. We will avoid that which perpetuates the entrapment of light in matter, such as eating food, especially that which is not vegetarian, consuming intoxicating substances, and engaging in sexual acts. We will purify ourselves before the festival starts. We fast for a month. We complete our fasting in preparation for the Bema Festival. Now we can begin the occasion properly, having purified ourselves. We all file into a central hall, gathering with the elect. At the end of the hall there lies an empty throne, save for a portrait of Mani, our prophet. It is here where he will descend spiritually and absolve us of our sins after confession. Now that everyone's here, we can begin. And yes, they got the minor health penalty of performing this Manichean fast because the body was not able to handle the rigors of Manichean fasting while they're preparing for the Bema Festival. That's because I went on years without fasting and done a few feasts here and there, so despite my temperance. At first, it simply begins, a pulse of a prayer, sung by one of the elect, then suddenly, one by one, more voices join in, of all the elect and the hearers in the room. We come together, singing together in the hymns of our faith. We come together, weeping in sorrow as we remember the power and nirvana of Mani. We come together, weeping in joy as we confess our sins, and Mani descends from the light high above and absolves us of those sins. For a moment there is nothing surrounding me but a sound of light, of purity, of power, of wisdom, and a vision of the Bema throne, empty save for the portrait of Mani. It is a glorious, no, a miraculous experience. As I slid beneath the sheets to join Basadil, I was horrified to find oozing blisters on his most private parts. How could he bring such a disgusting infection to our bed? I mean, you're my vassal now, so the bare thought of touching you, I cannot be with you if you have Hunter's pox. I don't know where you got that from. Well, he's a known adulterer, so whatever lover he had in the past. Yeah, I gotta break up with you. After the overwhelming emotions, sounds, and visions of confession ceremony, we move on to the next part of the Bema Festival. Throughout the year, the elect maintain a vegetarian diet, for by consuming the plants, these holy figures are able to release most of the light back to the heavens, freeing the light from the world of matter. The Bema Festival is perhaps the most important occasion for this, and the elect nobly eat the plants we have picked for them, while praying for the salvation of light in our souls. After this, the elect deliver various sermons to preach the profound teachings of Mani and urge us to continue our good deeds for the coming year. May the light be freed from darkness. At last, this year's Bema Festival has come to an end, and Mani had come to absolve us of the sins we confessed, as more and more light was freed and returned to the heavens. Such a powerful, grand, intense event only happens once a year. We will be ready for the next occasion. Until then, we should do our best to engage in virtuous acts to free the light and scorn the darkness wherever we can. We praise the truth of Mani, the Supreme Illuminator. Gain 900 learning lifestyle experience for this. Thank you very much. It's the only thing I can do. I mean, I have no sins. You did very well as commander. It's too bad you can't go hunt anymore because you're infirm these days. I guess all I can do now is just abide my time and accept my fate. Willing to spend that on the recovery. In the Badaction, they believe in materialism, and they do not pray to the Father of Greatness. Our Kegel condemns it as heresy, but the people ask for an understanding. Now listen. Before we get to Vietnam, that fervor must go down further. They will pray to true knowledge. It takes 4 years, but now increased progress to 3 years. Another legend seed. I refuse to pay taxes to an evil Manichean, Tota Gold screams at the face of Kubasai. It is my duty to collect taxes for the crown. An insult on my character is an insult to the Sati of the Uyghur Khanate. Kubasai thoughts. My liege, please resolve this dispute so I may continue my work. Count Totoko stands firm while Kubasai taps for the patient. Clear must decide whether to appease my vassal or support my tax collector. I don't do that. You will pay your due. Plus, you're talking to my son, who's going to be your overlord no matter what. Blackmail. Oh. Look, I broke up with him. So, whatever you have on me is irrelevant. I used to... Oh, stop being lovers. But, however, we never truly broke up. You are a landless adventurer. Where did you get this information? Well, I don't want my reputation stained. And you gain no stress because you are trusting because of your high learning. And he's got a cat too. Jealous? Fine. The Army of Light has been fairly busy, have you? Just looking at it again. Why the heck not? Before I pass, leave behind this legacy of what you do to your benefit. In light of my recent efforts to build bonds and better relations with the local Middle East community, various elite families of Iranian, Arab, and Jewish origin have provided me with gifts of gold and other valuables, crafted in many of their people's traditional styles. Such gifts are much appreciated. 38 gold, that's fine, but that's doesn't compare to what we make monthly. So that's like a month's payment. Again, I will leave this fine world soon. Well, fine world. No true Manichean would ever call this world a fine world or fine earth. You know the dualist. Anyways, as I order the army of light, we grow need more land to which to organize the defense of the Manichean faith. The Puri of Faryab is perfectly suited for our purpose and wish to lease to our service for our cause. You got it. Where is that at? Oh, way over there. Your request is granted. My bodyguard Beglook is a skilled herbalist, knowledgeable about healing and harmful plants alike. At more than one occasion, he has offered to share his expertise with me. He offers intriguing, but I know the Archegos is distrustful of charms and potions. She believes that the Prince of Darkness uses them for her own nefarious purposes. But at this point in my life, I'm always eager to learn something new. Counters the penalty of possibly being infirm for those health traits. To make me feel a little bit prolonging slightly. Is there a way you could look up tributaries? Yeah, tributaries, all the way to Udmurtia. I was originally opposed to a grand wedding, but listen, despite your fertility, having more children would be good for you. Hold on. And we know who your father is, who is still my soulmate. You know what? Let's make it a grand wedding. Why the hell not? I gladly accept your betrothal proposition. Your son and heir, Kubasar, and my daughter, Serena, will be joined in holy ceremony. May their union bring happiness and fulfillment. I also look forward to the promised grand wedding. Try not to disappoint me. Well, we're going to hold it right now. The grandiose celebration is of the union of the couple. However, it's not just a wedding ceremony, it's a public show of influence and a social event where the nobility gathered to practice the arts of diplomacy, seduction, and murder. or to share a drink with friends. So, there's a lot of things you could gain. Prestige, legitimacy, guest opinion, court advance opinion. Eager reveler, may lose stress, may become a magnificent, also a gracious host. So, wedding is meant to be a magnificent celebration of the union of two spouses, but also two families. So obviously, we're going to hold it right here, as this is a capital, and it's the holy side of the faith. Yeah, right here. I'm going to spare no expense with this. There you go. For entertainment, troubadours and exotic fiends. Only the finest performers and the rarest beasts. So, eager trade experience. Glory Hound and Courtiers will gain more opinion, increased prestige gain. For food and drinks, gargantuan meal. Bonus of stress loss, increased health bonuses. Glory Hound and Courtiers will gain more opinion, and increased opinion of all the attended characters. Tables will groan under the weight of all this food. And for the wedding venue, silver and gold. Increased opinion gain of your courtly vassals, renown and prestige. Glory Hound and Courtiers gain more opinion, and will gain magnificent host. An unapologetic display of boundless riches and enough servants for each guest to have their own personal cupbearer. There's so many damned guests that's gonna try to get here. Just anyone that's listening, do come. So maybe we could find a suitable spouse for Tumo. Tumo. Because I never typically do a matchmaking thing to anyone, but for the grandson. And I just gained this trait. So not so temperate. It'll be approximately 9 months till it begins. So, here comes the bride. Keep an eye on her. I inherited Karan, and also I got his artifact. Heart Antler. Inventory. 1 second. Upper Karan, that's up there. Upper Karan is up there. You heard what I just said? Put that on. It's a good trinket. Very good. Hey, get in here. There's still time. Because I want everyone to bear witness. With my son's stewardship and her diplomacy, they would complement each other. I hope. In my inspiration, the perfected ones honor me. That's the house model of Shah Bamiyan. Who founded that, by the way? Yeah, there were once Turco-Hephthalites. These Karluks there. Are there all Karluks down there, by the way? No. I'm surprised they haven't adopted Turco-Hephthalite culture yet. Almost there. Someone wants to tarnish my reputation. She is here. And we got 3 months remaining. A guest and a married man. Welcome. And come to see this wedding. And keep in mind, some of the guests may not make it to the wedding due to delays of travel or among other things. 2 months. Global Exposition Affair. Over the last months, both my spy master, Savanaka of Gabantogun, as well as my Archegos, Dilek of Muniek, have been nagging me with the idea of organizing a major exposition of artifacts that could potentially cover all my diplomatic acquaintances. As their goal to organize such endeavor is a major expense, I have not been convinced by the merits of the idea. This pair of Surits, however, engaged in all sorts of political intrigue and backstabbing to ensure that both the council as well as the foreign rulers know about the idea, and telling the event going forward, this bringing me to organize the whole exposition. Mad with the situation, I'm now facing serious consequences if I'm not going forward to accept this conflict. Ah, hell. Should finance a high security exercise, minimizing risk of robbery of an artifact sort of happen. It's influenced positive by the way you're intrigue and positive if you're a schemer, which I ain't. It could be a success, in which case you stand to gain a huge amount of prestige, or a failure, in which case your fame will suffer. Success that will reflect positive and negative by your learning skill. Whether you have a learning education or a scholar. Well, I do have a good education, so do it! You've arrived at Vanna. A disastrous failure. The exodus was poorly organized, and it was my lack of understanding of cultural matters made it even worse for the experience being conveyed by my necessities showed. Many foreign people were attracted by the bombastic campaign of my spymaster and my Archegos. But the fact of the matter was that almost everyone felt their time very poorly spent. Tired and sold energy, I was under the weather for most of the week and was nowhere to be seen by the attending parties. Most of the times, as Begum of Tegazid, Ugozlar, one of the attendants, as well as an all an ill-fated event. And thanks to the manipulation of my 2 counselors, my disastrous performance lost plenty of prestige and fame. God dang it! Lose level of fame. Oh, it doesn't matter which way you go. Either prestige loss or take a blame and lose that level of devotion. Oh no! Level of fame or level devotion? Honestly, what it does for you with the level of fame is secular opinion, the number of knights, while level devotion is just clergy opinion. So I'll say blame and execute your Lord Spiritual. So I am not generous, nor forgiving, nor compassionate, and have more dread, and nor if I'm either deceitful, paranoid, reckless. Execute your Lord Spiritual might suffer serious opinion consequences from your head of faith, and your courtiers is a positive opinion. So, my goodness, what? Yeah, the opinion will go down to all of your courtiers, but not your vassals. But I could justify by saying she is not a virtuous woman. She's lustful. So we could scapegoat at us. So blaming and execute Lord Spiritual. Your sinful acts have come a cost. She's executed in your orders. Ever. So this is the new patriarch, but who is the new Archegos of the Manichean Church? He is Archegos Commander. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he's Kuchine, a Tokharian. Despite his vengefulness, but he's brave and he's chaste, so that's good. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Yeah, dread's very high. The spouses Kubasards are above here, looking radiant and best attire. At my signal, everyone will get into position. The ceremony will begin. I can't wait. After this, I'm gonna go take a confession for killing the religious head because I was just too damn angry. I mean, after all, I'm the greatest of Khatuns. That's the reason why I did that. I am enjoying the ceremony, proud of what I have managed to organize. Everything has gone well so far, and as soon as I think I know I've jinxed it. Soon freezes the confusion, clearly forgotten what the next step of ceremony is. I can still salvage the situation. 99% chance I'll defuse the situation. The ceremony's finally reached its climax. The traditional rituals has been completed, and all that is left is the final vows. The formal consent, the seal on the marriage, as both Kobasar and Sivin say I do, and the crowd starts cheering. They all stand and witness the beginning of their life together. Exciting. Oh yeah, we're way past that. So we got all the Silk Road. Also, Brilliance is unlocked because we've expanded into the Iranian realms. Whereas that was once part of the Persian Empire. But we're not clan government, so this is irrelevant for this tree here. This is a nice one, but especially those who like to travel. And I know I do. but actuality, its law is the one I wanted. Especially, reduction of costs of hunt and feasts. I mean, well, especially hunting, because we have a habit of doing that. Costs less to create titles, especially for an ever-expanding realm, and more control's always good. Cheaper construction, but monthly stewardship lifestyle is always great to have. So I think that's the next one I'm going to go for. Now that we finish Silk Road. Go for law. Starting with mostly fair for slight increase of popular opinion to prevent peasant rebellions. And cheaper hunts and feasts. With all the formalities behind us, it's now time to celebrate. I signal for the servants to bring out the food and drinks and shepherd the guests to the feast venue. Let the wedding banquet begin. So they're officially married now. That's good. Every wedding banquet is host to a frankly interminable number of speeches, some long, some short, some honest, some deceptive, rolling up and down the hall, puncturing every course of the feast in waves. It's my turn here, so I'm left wondering. Should I consider having a couple or lend a few kind words to Tulmo? After all, it's easy for double meanings to get lost in this sea of words. Sorry, you two, but talk up to him with his good qualities. Make him the talk of the town for the next 15 years. He's an eligible bachelor himself. He's patient, he's temperate, although cynical, which I hope he'll reform himself one day. Not the best one to mention, but he is the future of this Khanate after Kubusan. Depends whether or not if we adopt administrative. And it could change everything of how a Khanate functions. But do that for him. Make him more desirable. The death of Sheikh Adi. Hold up here. Stories have spread across the region about a great holy man living in Nineveh who is called Sheikh Adi. Though he was a devout Sufi mystic who preferred to keep to himself, his steadfast asceticism, endless wisdom, and purported miracles have earned him a large following. Sheikh Adi recently passed away, but even this is not enough to deter his followers, who include not only pious Muslim locals, but also those who practice the ancient beliefs long held by the peoples of northwest Iran. To detractors, his followers worship him excessively, but locals claim he does deserve veneration as a truly great man. Perhaps one who is more than meets the eye. Either way, it appears Sheikh Adi's teachings are blending together with the local spiritual practice and ideas in this region. It remains to be seen how influential this memory will remain in the long run. Interesting. A new faith, Yazidism, will likely emerge around the county Nineveh via an event within the next few decades. So over there in the Lulu, Nineveh. So again, Sheikh Adi, a Sufi mystic, recently passed away and was buried there. He was respected for his wisdom, asceticism, and miracles by the locals of all creeds. Some detractors claim that locals are beginning to worship him excessively, but others view him as a great religious figure worthy of such veneration. So a new religious system is developed in this region, blending elements of Islam, ancient Iranic beliefs, and more. A new faith, Yazidism, will likely emerge in Arabia for some time in the next few decades. So a bit of development growth over there. A match made in. My crowd is cheering a toast to the newlyweds, but among them is seen the lost son of my grandson, Tuma. After a careful search, I finally find him. sitting in a corner of an interest, and I dare say longing, at Tisharakshita, was entertaining a group of Ramontes guests with her jokes and tales. I know her. She was the one who was getting her butt kicked the crap out of by this older woman. She's not good at skills of anything, except maybe prowess, but she's good looking. And a man like you, as you are desirable for yourself, and she's good looking, so I'll say, go get her. 99% chance to ask for her hand in marriage and becomes betrothed to her. 10% chance to become lovers. But nevertheless, it's a good match. I think. What about the other son? He needs to find himself, so it's a good match. And I say I approve. You know she's a lowborn. So you might have a legitimacy hit for this. I can see all the guests are satisfied and pretty tired, but today's celebration is not over yet. Quickly organize a festive procession to lead the newlyweds to the bedchamber. Let's let the newlyweds celebrate privately. For us who remains, let's pour another drink. It's time. When, finally, the last guest leaves, I look around the deserted venue. The food leftovers, the spilled tea on the floor, the echoes of people's laughter still linger in the air, and feel satisfied. What an amazing day! I did a very fine job organizing. Thank you all for coming. 150 prestige, 25 piety, 25 gold, legitimacy, all the courtier vassals respect you more. He got married to her, all that. Every guest was part of the wedding of the century. And here, you gained renown for both of your dynasties. It's all smiles now. Great banquet. And all that. You're a long way to getting that. I'm tempted to go on a pilgrimage just to try to get back to being a religious icon. Perhaps I'll go on my last great travel. A pilgrimage to the farthest holy site. Like, not there. That's a respectable distance. Fairly short distance. Fairly short distance. Quite far away. Thou was. Where Manichaeism began. Bring every damn body with you. And yes, you grandsons too will be there. One second. Who's the region designated? Kubasara wants someone else. Someone who's landed and isn't going to be around much. You'll do. I don't care what the courtly vassals think. He's going to be appointed regent, and we're all going to go together, especially as a family. This will be a pilgrimage of a lifetime. And we'll be bringing those Silk Road merchants with us so we can make some money back. Try it again. Because I don't see my son and heir on there. But the one who just got married will be there. And so are the grandsons. Okay. So, how will we do this here? Altruism. In an attempt to gain more piety. Whatever is the quickest way to Oz. And then after that, we go to various places. Especially the areas that gives me more learning a bit on the way back. We're not going to try to, visit all these places. Some of that's a bit far off. But making it all the way back is another challenge in itself. But Baghdad, however, go to there and then turn around. Yes, the House of Wisdom. Because sightseeing event and also more learning lifestyle. This is going to be my last travel, no doubt. So let's go. All while preparing for my journey, I've had a sense of serenity knowing that everything will be right. I'm pleased to embark on this pilgrimage to Oz in order to get even closer to the Father Greatness, and now feel more than ever that certainly will watch over me in my travels. Maybe a lot of things, but pilgrim is not one of them. It's a wonder that you two are not coming with me. After all, you're a seneschal, and you are tax collectors, so you have better things to do. Well, this could be my last chance. And during the long travel, we'll get to make a lot of fortune. If we get lucky. And that we do. And who knows, maybe after the end I might become a legendary Silk Road merchant. Muddy roads. I think it's a good thing that my son isn't traveling. He has to stay to get ready for him to become the next Kagan, or what is the equivalent in the Khatuns second language? The Rundan Bre. That's the equivalent of King of Kings in the Khatuns second language. Here we go. Know thyself. When devil natural causes are near where you'll receive a warning. So you'll know when. Even though I'm infirm. You'll know when your time comes. Alright. You. You. I just lost more level devotion. My soulmate said his had worse than harsh words I could ever. I stand crestfallen as birds face my dress. Sati, how could you do this? I love you, you foolish woman. Draws a long quiver. Come back to me, my sweetness. Leave that coxcomb and everything will be forgiven. It was foolish to be with him. So, I will do anything to deserve your forgiveness. I'll stop being those of him and I'll stay with you, even though you're an adulterer. We're both adulterers, right? My reputation may be stained at the end, but my love for you is eternal. Make amends, you two. Yesterday our travels in East Takharistan were rather grueling, and I was so exhausted I overslept. The rest of my entourage didn't want to wake me up, saying they worried I would not be in a right state of mind if they didn't give me enough time to rest. I'll be careful not to oversleep again. Faster. Faster! I overslept again! Ah. That's my patriarch. I think I know a cure. And I did. As I entered the yard of Yezd, ready to bestow my royal touch upon the local peasantry, I immediately faced what is undoubtedly the most wretched creature I ever laid my eyes on. With little provocation, she exposes her calloused feet just inches away from her pristine hands. As much as I am to loathe even be the presence of this pungent diseased pauper, it is said that my touch can heal even the most unseemly illnesses. I hate to admit, this is a little erotic. 5% chance I may get ill. Sacred touch next 10 years. As we prepare to set out in the morning, as the Shoji stands outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to him, notice change in the wind. A refreshing autumn wind ripples through the camp, grabbing the sand and dust on the ground. Summer's behind us, and it's time for the cold and autumn of winter. Get back on your horse, G. We have more than enough time to watch the scenes you travel to Al-Awaz. Almost there. Come on. Word of my rouse seems to spread at the Vilayet of Sardan, as our entourage soon beset with countless serfs begging to be blessed with the royal touch. I could, of course, simply sprinkle a little water blessed by myself upon them. They would surely be satisfied. But granted unblessed coins to soothe their infected areas would keep them happy and blessed for much longer. I shall distribute blessed coins. Every little bit helps to get my piety back up to the way it was. Shortcut. Alright. Almost there. We have arrived. I'm finally here, body and soul at the great temple of Al-Awaz. As the bishop offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that had to happen for true knowledge to bring me here, at this moment in time. I've walked the holy path. Everyone's a pilgrim here. What a coincidence. We happened to stop by a certain village in Al-Awaz right when the locals were holding a wedding between the two great clans living there. The bride is beautiful and graceful in her traditional Sami wedding clothes, while the groom is just as handsome and charming. Most importantly, this is just the start of a huge and lively feast of proportions, and the locals invited us to join in. There's plenty of food and drink to go around for everyone. Even strangers, they say, that the festivities will likely last several days. We have places to be, we cannot tarry. A pilgrim puts down a altar doll before the altar, bowing her head. I see Ismat blessing and muttering something very holy. I'm not sure. The bishop makes a gesture. Do you have something to bring us to do? This is an indestructible artifact. But please make my iron crown of Lombardy more pious. So now it gains plus 2% monthly piety. It already has monthly prestige, but now give it a monthly piety as well. Nothing much appears to be happening in terms of events during this pilgrimage. As I wandered around the stalls of the market, avoiding as many local foods as I can, waves of people trying to drag me to their houses, I noticed a bigger gathering around a specific merchant. Come and buy but a true relic for the price that will make the great builder laugh for decades. A statue of the great builder, found in this very holy shrine only a few days ago. We've carved a painted statue of the Adamas of Light. The base is described with quotes from the Manichean scriptures. You don't do that. I don't know if there's a thing for blasphemy for this, but I'll say this doesn't look very authentic. I'll become more pious and gain a bit of a learning lifestyle experience for this. As our town is a sacred site, Jarlston, I'm slightly concerned that I did not get a chance to prove my devoutness to the Father Greatness as much as perhaps I would like to. This being my first pilgrimage, and while no pilgrimage is exactly like, I feel confident I'm more familiar with what to expect in this type of spiritual journey in the future. Well, it's been an honor. I could have gotten a lot more piety, but it's left a lot to be desired. Perhaps I have indeed sinned during this late life of mine, as if the Prince of Darkness did tempt me. 'Cause what people don't know is that I'm also a deviant. They don't know that part. But now let's visit a few places. One thing I noticed we passed through Cadicia. Cadicia. Is that in Camacia? Anyways, is that every other samurai child claims to be a philosopher? At first, I'm skeptical of this. After being roundly witted in my third conversation row, I start to think perhaps there is something to their claims. The latest philosopher, Mukta, is practically laughing at my latest attempts at logical argument. It's a philosopher culture. What can I personally learn? Okay, I wanted to know, people. Is Al Qadisiyah the same place? I mean, this is a reference to another game I play. Is that Camacia in Project Red? Is that the exact same place of where it's located? And us. It is nightfall. A man is hard at work when you arrive at the cereal field south of Kofa. It appears to be flattening crops at a rapid pace, using a large flat piece of wood and heavy stones. I frown as I watch the man performing his labor, then inquire what exactly he's up to. He winces and starts a long rant about how we all need to wake up and meet our true masters. That's a hiding behind false Muslim teachings. Take a few steps back in surprise. No, I'm alright. Did not stop heresy, says my patriarch. Al-Hilia, that's Babylon. It's where Prophet Mani was born, I believe. Here we are, House of Wisdom. Just as we're about to set out, starts pouring down rain. As far as the eye could see, I can't help but curse my poor luck. Had I seen the dark clouds coming for a while. If we want to make our journey on time, we have to set out, but it's a risky journey with this weather being what it is. An opportunity to rest, I say. Baghdad of times past. Passing through the gates of Baghdad, it is hard not to reflect on having reached the traditional center of Arabic speaking in the Islamic world. Making my way through the city, I noticed many ruins and old monuments. Eventually found myself by the cemeteries, among the tombs of the caliphs and legal scholars of days long past. My personal physician, Theocariste, remarks that these are men who knew a different Baghdad, almost unrecognizable today. It is worth thinking about how fragile life is, especially me being infirm these days. It is worth thinking about it, though. 15% chance that my learning skill increases by 2, and she becomes my friend. 42% chance of contemplation for the next 15 years, which will give me +1 learning and mostly piety. The other 42% being existential dread, where I gain +1 stewardship but increasing a bit of stress. Existential dread, as she and I discuss life and death, as I have become ill. Speaking of life and death, and I guess this is where I will die, here in Mesopotamia, where Prophet Mani came from. But instead, I live. And let's continue making more money. Pass through the ruins of Ctesiphon, which is here that we passed through. No joy. Oh no, we got 100. Oh no, that was from earlier. This will hasten our journey. I want to get back home as soon as possible. It would be great to make it back to Vamna. Pass through the Friday Mosque in Isfahan. Look at that! Silk Road Merchant. We're getting there. We came across the ancient ruins in Adistan, which weren't the most spectacular out there. I'm sure. They weren't that large, so we couldn't camp there. Yet even so, they were quite something to see. My entourage and I have been rather bored from the day's travel on the Jury Road, so these ruins gave us something to talk about. Amongst the other topics, we eagerly speculated on why the ancients built the ruins, or which agents inhabited, for that matter, and what it must have looked like in its heyday. I just noticed something, as there was plenty of interesting discussion to go around as we chatted about the ruins. Stop! Disease. We just passed through consumption, and I didn't catch that. Huh. How about that? As we travel through the outskirts of Koa, we suddenly see a jovial woman in the distance, jumping and dancing and singing to herself. Seems like quite a character. Would you like to hear some of my songs about Abdullah, the swine of the Delamic court? She yells at us as soon as I was shouting this before we have time to answer. She starts singing to Mary too about the depravities of Shah Abdullah. Would you like to join me? Seductress, poet, eager reveler. Oh, wow. And homosexual too. Compassionate, fickle. You're an interesting character. Come on in. Make you the court musician around here. It'll be fun. Don't oversleep again. In the quiet of our cabin near Biak, a shrieking uproar breaks the calm. My husband, Shuji, confronts my patriarch, Stavira. Carries in, holding a trash pan. You thief, this was my mother's. She exclaims, eyes wide as anger. Stavira vehemently always comes. Your lying cards always belong to me. We don't really have time for this. Come on. We got to go home. Nonsense, I'll take over his guide, and we got lost. I'm stopping by the town I've out in my travels, and the locals shower me with great esteem. The people here do not expect someone like myself to visit their humble settlement. Some of the local leaders are suggest I spend a few days there. These leaders wish to show me around the area and leave a good impression on me about their town and its surroundings, as well as the people who dwell there. Every little bit helps to increase the popular opinion, so I'll say I don't mind a slight detour. As we wind the outskirts of Nishabur, I see a trail of caravan camels in the distance as soon as we meet with a stranger. Good evening to you, worthy friend. Come in, come in. I promise what I have in my stall, like Khorasan herself, are more than what they seem. Showcase of countless shining trinkets before my eyes. A mysterious lamp. How about we make a deal? Successful haggling. Pay less. And I am the owner of the mysterious lamp, which is a court artifact. A shining golden lamp encrusted with jewels. You feel a sense of phenomenal cosmic power when you hold it. Let's mount a search party for this goof. He's nowhere to be found. I can feel it in my very bones. Death will come for me soon, like an old friend. He's patiently waiting to receive me. I will be dead within a year. Well, I guess we can get our priorities straight, so you should get your affairs in order. So around next September or so, I'll be gone. I'll be back home by then, assuming I get no more delays. Just remain carefree. Will not be able to increase my health, so accept the fact that you will pass, alright? It'll be the end of an era, and I can only hope that my son is ready to take the reins. Once I pass, will the golden era end? And I know for certain that the popular opinion from offensive war will largely be gone by then. It'll be a thing in the past. And this large amount of money you have, you better hold a damn good funeral for me when I pass. Bury me in Vamna, inside of that great temple. A fine day like this, the weather is nice, the pastures of Sisak look great, and the local livestock are positively jumping and cheering their own gun manner. Cows are walking next to our mothers, their fur shiny and clean. Overall, the place is very competent run, though I do notice a couple oddities that I would manage a bit differently. The local patriarch approaches me. Fine morning to you, my lady. Are these beauties not a sight to behold? For the next 15 years after I'm gone, I could apply some of this back home. And I think I know a cure. Cured him. Camel again. As soon as I over the camel farm and now Musala. And I seek beneath the shade. Protect the hide strung over certain areas of the farm. The sound of grunt startles me as I turn around. Next to me, one of the magnificent beasts had the same idea and closes up on the shade. I leaned over to pat its elongated head. An animal in one swift motion slams me across the forehead and spits on my cheek. When I regain my bearings, I see its owner standing only about 20 paces away, mortified. Bag Kozo. I don't care, you're not my direct vassal. A camel head artifact? Alright, screw it. Space head will make a fine warning. Ledge. There's the mysterious lamp, but where's the camel head? There it is. Head of a disobedient camel. Get rid of that. This one adds more court grandeur. I want you to repair this and put the lamp on display. Because that one gives you more court grandeur than the others. I'm too old to have this. So put that there. If I say too old, I mean talking about prowess skill. Journey across the lines of the caravan. A caravan of laden camels crossed the path. The caravan master notices the entourage halts the procession. Noble travelers, he calls out his shrewd gleam in his eye. Perhaps you fancy a glass at the treasures these sturdy beasts carry? For the right price, the wonders of that desert could accompany you on your travels. Ah, Sogdian merchants. Give me something truly unique. Give me something big. Sogdian regalia. An open regalia set of excellent craftsmanship. It consists of electrum scepter set with pieces of emerald, fine velvet ropes that's been embroidered with gold and large emerald cabochon necklace. Very nice. Toll bridge. What do you think you're talking to? Bandits don't believe you, so I tell you. One sec. It's the first time we have a regalia of any kind. It's of Sogdian origin. Turning a bend in the path, we come across a group of people covered in dust. Emerging from what must have been an impressive tomb, they hoist burlap sacks that jingle and jangle, weighed down by the trinkets that have dug out of the ancient building. Times are hard. Oh, I did not read it. Our families must be fed, and we're not doing harm to anyone among the living. You know, for once, I deserve my cut. You found the tooth of Muhammad. An elegant relic contained your holy relic, the tooth of Muhammad. Kind of useless to us because we're not Muslim, but court grandeur bonus for show. I notice that Vasudeva avoids me more than usual. He always sits at the opposite end of the table whenever we're invited to a feast, because he refuses my company while camping. We're not out of best relationships, but that attitude is starting to tire me. Especially over here and defaming me. Sati is a worthless sick of it. I'd be way better for numbering it than her. That's just a guest. So I'll say, you're gonna end your days in a dungeon. Getting tired of your crap. This morning we asked for directions toward the next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road in Cuba. I'm not sure how we should have. We are lost, in other words. These directions we're trying to follow, were they bad directions to begin with, or did we just misunderstand them? Maybe we should go that way. Hopefully, once I'm home, I got to do that weekly confession. Almost there. Now we know who did it. But I'm too old to give it. My journey has been a long one, but I've finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the priests and bishop treat me. I've undergone a journey of a holy woman. They insist it has changed something about me, where I could see myself or not. It's good to be home. And now, hang on. Let me see. Reduce the gold cost. Legitimacy. Just to reduce the gold cost of holding this weekly confession. Last one for my life. One of the most important tenets of Manichaeism is the weekly confession ritual every Monday. Sin delays the salvation of light and our souls from this material world. the world of darkness. So the confession ceremony was taught to us by the Prophet Mani so that more and more light could be liberated. This week I've been inspired to focus on this ceremony more than ever before. The elect have gathered to hear the confessions from myself and other heroes. We recite the highly formalized liturgy and hymns that urge us to observe our recent deeds, distinguishing between the good and the bad, disciplining ourselves to be better and better. The less sinful we are, the more light we can liberate. Our souls and all light will be liberated from darkness. It's not like it's going to get rid of the adulterer fame trait. It's known to everybody. I won't make it to the 78th birthday. Now, we wait. We don't have time to do other things. Ah! Perhaps. Just don't do anything, okay? Son, let me look at you. You're a valued scholarly courtier, which is excellent. It means you get a bit of monthly learning lifestyle experience if you so wish to do it. And despite the fact that you're impotent, but you're married to a rather young, well, good-looking woman. But hopefully, with this amount of money that you now have, you're going to do two things during your early part of your reign, because you want to keep the golden age going. So it's good that you're a devoted servant and you're distinguished. And you have what little money you will have to bring with you when you begin your rule. And you should go to your university and get yourself well educated in stewardship matters. So I don't know if you're going to become, I mean, let me see, in the beginning of your reign, I don't know if you're going to be avaricious or an architect or even an administrator. Whatever it is, I will hope that you will rule well and govern well. Keep the country together. Keep the golden age going. Keep the money flowing. And all that. That is my wish. And only expand when it's absolutely necessary. And maybe perhaps one day you might consider adopting administrative government. Because in this ever-expanding realm, we better start, start governing right for every single one of my vassals. Oh, and grandson, have you had any children of your own yet? Not yet. Now does turn 16 and I didn't know. Insightful thinker. Actually, you should be one for Marshal. Hey. No. Try again. I don't want to educate you because I'm about to pass. Should be educated by him. It's been far too long since I held my soulmate at the back of my arms. He's been distantly gives me excuse after excuse making me. Am I not as satisfactory, simply busy, or could it be warming someone else's bed? Okay, you greedy bastard. What's better than 1 sack of silver? 2 sacks of silver, he says. Do you have another? I'm gonna confront you. How can you even say such a thing, Sati? I would never take a lover. Bullshit, because you are known as adulterer, you had lover's pox. You're a known seducer. I have little choice but taking him as word. I'm too old to hold grudges anymore. It is with joy that the mayor of Yakoto has shown significant initiative to decrease my legitimacy by spending his own resources to further my political stance. Well, thank you very much. I don't need that right now, because I'm about to leave this material world. Not this fine earth. What you said once. I was telling some minister of matters in my office. I was informed that Khatuns of Ganzhou was waiting to give me a word. Upon admittance to my presence, she proceeded to remind me that I owed her a favor. Wants me to promote her, increasing her prestige. Okay, fine. You'll get it. But I don't want to be known as the slow nor lose the renown, so your word is my word. So everybody's a scholarly courtier these days. One last court event. The good doctor, Theocaris. My personal physician, Theocaris, is a true healer, always ready for some suitable remedy or protest, that the first murmurings of the courtiers are modest. Her talents seem almost wasted. Stretch as she is treating the demanding denizens of the entire Uyghur Khanate court. Doesn't matter now. You will look to my heir, Kubasar. Give him close attention. So, he deserves this. I'm kind of glad that event popped up. Kind of glad. It's August now. One more month till I pass or so, so I'm ready to leave. Yeah. Also, one more thing before I leave here. By the way, that place, Camasia, I had to look it up. Which is, like when we traveled to there, Camasia. I want to make a correction. It's not that one, because Camasia is in southern Iraq, 217 miles southeast of Baghdad, and 168 miles of Al-Qasam, and 124 miles northwest of Kuwait City. It's in the Uyghur Khanate in Iraq. So you're way off. It's actually over there somewhere, if it's even listed there. Which the capital of that province is Nazira. Nazira. Where are you? So basically it's around there somewhere. Oh, come see. Let's just only remember it through Project Reality from playing that game. It's one of the maps here. So, yeah, just one little correction there before I leave this material world. I'm always tempted to say fine earth. That's me saying it. But no, it's material world. The Manicheans don't say fine earth. There's nothing fine about this earth. It's all created by the world of dark, the Prince of Darkness and all that. Created that material world and all that. 28 second. Here we go. Well done. Rina Sati of the Uyghur Khanate has passed on at 77 years of age. She died of old age. A charming woman. She became famous for her elaborate feasts and grandiose balls. But let's not forget a bunch of things about her. She was dreaded, yes. She was exalted among men, but devoted servant. She was a religious icon, but it turned out not to be the case. She fought in 25 wars, 13 offensive, 12 defensive. She hosted 17 activities, 4 hunts, 3 inspections, 2 Bema festivals, 1 pilgrimage to the Bamiyan Buddhas, 1 annual procession of Khotan, 1 pilgrimage to the Mogao Caves, the Sati Festival, University, Feast, Pilgrimage, Grand Wedding, and 10 defined activities, 3 hunts, life release ceremony, and the feast. She ruled for 59 years, from 922 to 981. But let's not forget of her many accomplishments. She was also the greatest of Khatuns, greatest of Khans. She was also Chakravati, as she was a great patron of Buddhism for a period of time before she reverted back to being Manichean, remained true to herself. Although adultery may stain her reputation a little, but, however, she was a dreaded woman, so who dared to say such things to her? Oh, and she was also a theologian too. She was a holy woman, but not that holy as some may consider. But she was an exalted warlord as well. And she was also the Uyghur Khanate, the wise Khan, endowed with the wisdom to govern a country from heaven. And she too will govern heaven. She will be the Lady of Heaven, much like how people say Lord of Heaven. She's definitely earned a rightful place to be at the side of the Father of Greatness. But now, Rudamre Kobasa ascends the throne, a learned administrator. He is recognized as one of the most qualified people to ascend the throne. And we will continue as such. Yeah, thank the Father of Greatness. I could go outside again. Whatever he was doing out there. Okay. With the passing of my mother, Namrena Sati, my responsibility to lead a vasta rosta now falls upon my shoulders. I stand before my vassals, adjust my new crown, and fold my arms. All the things I will accomplish. Long live the Rundamre of the Uyghur Khanate. Again, you're using both Courtiers, Saka, and Uyghur terms. He is avaricious. Gold. Can there be any higher calling? Any goal more noble than the pursuit of wealth? So that's what he is. He's avaricious. So perhaps there will be a golden age, although it's going to be definitely cut down because the maintenance of men-at-arms ain't going to be what it used to be, which may require some military cuts. He also wishes to be an administrator, based on that path he's taken. I mean, it would be great to have architect, especially getting the domain limit up. So, as he's a man of stewardship, I think domain focus would make the most sense. But the domain limit is not up. No. Won't go up. So we might be in a bit of trouble here. But we can salvage this. Although, only time will tell. So first things first, assign to the appropriate people to the council, as most of them are pretty well liked, as it appears so. Some aren't as skilled as others, but good enough. Wait 1 sec. There we go. I don't know why I did that a few times, but here we are. Now we're home. So you're 46 years old. You have all this money to yourself now. We could do all these things. All these artifacts. So, in the next episode, we gotta hold a funeral for my mother, which for the first time will be held in Varna, in a major religious building in a holy site for increased piety, stress loss, and legitimacy. Speaking of legitimacy, you are up there. And subsequently, you will go to the university here in Varna, where you don't have to travel. Cost you this much. Study hard and pick up a few perks. related to stewardship, as you have just as good learning. You've got the whole world ahead of you. So we'll stop here in this episode. So in the next episode, a funeral for the great woman. And then I'll go to university and do some administrating. You know, honestly, I would prefer to reset the perks, keep this, but put this over here. And it will pick up more and more perks. And try to get this for the domain limit to be up. Because I would like to be an architect. In time. Hope you have children soon. And plus, since I have the calm trait, that means I can do, you know, meditate seclusion. I could do that in my free time. And maybe this, we'll have to do Middle Eastern, just to try to get out of this domain. Like, get out of being above domain limit. I feared that I was going to give away places like Donghuang. But no, everything is maintained here, and you just keep going up. No. And we'll see, we'll go from here. So, we'll see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.